So you would think that because we've been put on this earth to exist, it would not be too hard to not suck at life. But after you spend more than 3 minutes in society, you realize, what in the actual fuck? Why do we collectively fucking hate our lives? My own life has sucked for a very long time, and I don't pretend that I have it all figured out, but I did manage to make it unsuck. So let me share with you the framework that has worked for me, myself, and I, my life, my opinion, my channel. Do not come for me in the comments. I literally will cry. Anyways. Oh, and by the way, not very YouTuber of me, but welcome back to the Tough Love Diaries, where I don't give a fuck about what you want to hear, but tell you what you need to hear to get your shit together a little bit more than before you watch this video. Now, part one of this problem is the fake North Star. So this should be a literal medical syndrome. That is the main reason why you suck at life. Most of us are just like stuck out here spiraling and trying to build our lives around an identity made out of social media leftovers. Allow me to explain. So you like the boss girl. She started her business from her bedroom. She now has a multi-million-dollar empire. She doesn't need anyone. Oof, love that. But wait, you also like the stay-at-home mom that does Pilates, drive a Range Rover, make little healthy snacks for her kids. Okay, cool, we already have a problem, but whatever. But wait, you also like the travel couple. No job, at least no ties, no kids, no house, none of that. Okay, love that for them. Love that for you if that's your thing. But there's also the rich, minimalistic couple. Their house is a fucking dream. Okay. Do you start to see where I'm going with that? How the fuck do you think you can be all of them at the same time? How can you have kids, but no kids, a business, but also fucking twirl your ass around the country without any responsibility because you're a fucking digital nomad selling Canva templates on Etsy? You cannot be all those people at once. But yet, you try and like Frankenstein all of those lives that you like into one persona. And you're like, I'm gonna become that person. How? I'm listening. How the fuck are you gonna do that? You're building a blueprint for a life that no one actually lives. And then you wonder why you feel like shit when you can't achieve that. But no one is. No one is living that life, okay? So you have your problem number one, the fake North Star. So we're gonna start here, okay? We are gonna put together a realistic persona of who you're trying to be, where you're trying to be in your life. Okay, so we're gonna make sure the pieces fit together. I'm not asking you to figure out your life in like 5 minutes. I just wanna know, holistically, what's the vision? Your family life. Do you want kids? Do you wanna stay single? Do you wanna get married? How many kids do you want? How do you wanna raise them? Like, is traveling okay? Or are you hoping to have a more grounded family life? That will weed out some of those personalities already. Work, career. What are we saying here? Are you a 9-to-5 girly? Are you trying to be your own boss? Are you trying to do the absolute bare minimum and use all that money to travel? Are you trying to build an empire that would require you to be where the action is at, most of the times? Are you trying to start something that you can just like let run in the background? Like what's the vision here? Because you can't do it all. Very, very broadly, your lifestyle. What are we saying? Do you live in a fucking RV and travel around the country? Do you buy a house and try to establish yourself in a community for a hot minute? Do you see yourself traveling, living in different places? Like what's the overall vision for all of that? Are you trying to move back closer to your family? Just please, just think. And I think something very important is that we assume everyone wants to be filthy rich because it's 2025. But not everyone actually wants that, and that's completely okay. Some of us just want enough money to eat good, travel, live life, and don't care about having 14 billions in the bank. But some of us want to make sure that this travel is in first class and that we can shop at Whole Foods without looking at the price tags. That's also completely okay. Just, figure out where you want to be on the spectrum, because it is a spectrum, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I want to be a broke bitch or I want to be a rich bitch. Maybe this is where you live, in the middle, Just figure out what type of wealth is made for you. Okay, now you have a broad vision of where you're trying to be in life. Congratulations, you realize you cannot be 20 of those people at once, and I love that for you. Now, and that's a step that most people actually brush over, forget even exist, is making sure you can actually achieve that, because that is where you create your own misery. Ali Abdaal said you create your own misery in the gap between your goals and your actions. If what you want is there and your actions are there, this is why your life fucking sucks. So now let's be for fucking real. Can you realistically achieve that life that you're painting for yourself? And I'm not saying, oh, you should never dream of becoming a billionaire. This is not realistic. If you're grinding every single day towards your business, towards your goals, you'll get there. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, for example, let's say for your work career, you said you want to become the VP of your company, you want to climb that corporate ladder. Good for you. But yet on the daily, you say you hate your job, you're showing up late, you're doing the bare minimum, you're just not gonna get there, homie. You are not. And that's okay. But then we're gonna need to reassess the whole picture. This once again comes back to the gap between the goal and the actions. You said you wanted to be on this end of the spectrum, yet your job pays like shit and you're not willing to make a career move or to try and do something else or to build a side hustle or other stream of income. Okay, that's cool. I respect that. You wanna, keep your free time to be with your friends and family. Okay, but then do not say you want this, because you don't. And that's perfectly fine, but just don't say you do. Don't say you want 20 kids if you know you want to live in an RV and travel around the world. I'm not saying you can't, realistically, once again, but Anywho's, once you're done making sure it is physically possible and humanly achievable for you to get where you want to be, even if it requires a lot of work, that's cool if you're willing to put in the work. Just, assess, reassess, question, re-question. Once you're done doing that, congratulations, you're already ahead of 50% of people in life. And now what do we do? Well, like I always say, all you can do is do. You have now reached the most important step in how to not suck at life. Most people have some sort of vision for what they want, and they either do not take action and fail and just give up, or just, keep on trying, keep on doing the same thing that's obviously not working. Let me introduce you to the reassessment loop, your main tool here. The real key to not suck at life is to adopt a trial and error mentality. Most people suck at life because they want all the answers before they start trying. They want to know everything, they want to watch every video, they want to read every book, they want to take every course, they want to get every piece of advice, every mentor. Literally shut the fuck up. Only momentum creates clarity. You're trying to get somewhere, but girl, the parking brake is on and you're in a parking lot. How to enlighten me? People who don't suck at life take action first and adjust as they go. Nothing is ever set in stone, except if you kill someone, which I do not recommend, okay? I started 2 businesses already. One of them flopped, and the other one made me 5 figures in a few months, but long story short, the co-founder wasn't a match and I just left. But you live and you learn. How the fuck else are you supposed to learn? The only reason I'm doing this YouTube channel right now is because in one of those businesses, I had to make content for it and I realized, wow, I actually hate that other thing, but I love to make content. And I would have never gotten to that point if I didn't start this business in the first place. Because best believe at first I was like,
you will catch me dead before you catch me on camera.
You will learn about yourself, you unlock parts of you that a course or a YouTube video will never reach. Momentum creates clarity. Get that fucking tattooed on your ass crack, girl. You will literally discover new things, new path, only because you came from that action in the first place. You cannot just sleep here. This is just not how it works. Like, please, girl, I am begging you. Have you ever looked at Airbnb when it started? Like, that landing page gave me like 9 kinds of STDs just looking at it. First of all, it started as a fucking inflatable mattress. Airbnb. Air. Like an air mattress, okay? That's how it started. An air mattress in someone's house, in someone's crusty, dusty living room. No pictures of the house. No location. You just knew you were in Austin or in San Francisco. That's it. That's all. You didn't even know who the fuck you were staying with. But what if they waited to get it all right before they launched? They would not be here today. So stop wanting to figure everything out before you take action, because only action is gonna create momentum, and momentum is gonna create clarity. The other day I met Jake Carls, the founder of Midday Square. We were chatting and I was like, how do you keep going? How do you like when you start something and it's low-key flopping or just like not reaching the heights you thought it would, how do you keep pushing? And he was like, oh, this is my 5th business. He started 4 other businesses before he became a millionaire with the 5th one, okay? He was like, I would never be here today. I would have never had that idea. I would have never gotten in this headspace if I didn't flop 4 times before. Once again, you cannot get here if you do not start here. So in conclusion, figure out the bare minimum to start moving. Fucking do it. Reassess along the way. Figure out what your new bare minimum is to keep moving, reassess one more time, and fucking succeed. I'm not saying obviously you're only gonna reassess 2 times, like you're not stupid, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this is the reassessment loop. You gotta keep moving. You may have to twirl your ass around that loop a few times before you actually get to where you want to be. But I promise that along the way, you're gonna build so much confidence and self-trust and self-worth because you're finally doing the shit you said you were gonna do. And that is what is actually gonna make that loop so much more bearable. You might actually enjoy it if you're not careful, So not sucking at life is indeed very simple when you work with yourself instead of against yourself. 1, stop creating your own fucking misery, whether it's by creating this fake North Impossible star for yourself or by creating your own fucking misery in that gap between your alleged goals and your realistic day-to-day actions. And number 2, get on that fucking reassessment loop. Get on that treadmill, baby. Start fucking running for your life. If I had waited to start this channel until I figured out my niche, my style, have money for better equipment, someone to edit the videos for me or whatnot, I would not be here talking to you. I would not be able to share this hopefully valuable information with you. I am on that loop myself. And I'm only 10 videos deep, but best believe I have reassessed my entire existence at least 3 times since I started. So get on it. Quit fucking playing with your life. Okay, bye, and don't forget to subscribe if you like this video.